So a bunch of you have been asking for a video tutorial series on how to cross stitch, so here we go. Video number 1 is going to be supplies and materials that you need to get started with cross stitching. The really nice thing about cross stitching is there's only 3 things you technically need in order to cross stitch. Everything else is optional. There are a couple things that I recommend, but they're not technically necessary. The first thing you're going to need is you're going to need fabric. I use Aida cloth in 14 count. Any brand will do. It doesn't have to be a particular brand, but Aida cloth and the 14 count is pretty standard. The count is going to be how many stitches per inch you're going to get. So here's a little scrap of what it looks like. So all those little holes in there, there's going to be 14 of those per inch on a 14 count fabric. The second thing you need is a needle. It could be a tapestry needle, it could be craft needles, it could be an embroidery needle or a cross-stitching specific needle. It really doesn't matter, just a small needle. That's it. The last thing that you're gonna need is floss in whatever colors your pattern calls for. I almost exclusively use DMC floss, and the patterns will tell you what little numbers down here to look for when you're buying your floss, and then you just buy one of each color and we go from there. What colors you get are going to be based on whatever your pattern tells you to get. You can find cheap or free patterns online really, really easily. Just print them out, bring the list of numbers to the store with you so you know what colors to look for and purchase when you're at the store. That's really all you need to get started cross-stitching. I do highly recommend that you get a hoop. It'll help stabilize your fabric and make it a lot easier for you to learn how to do the cross-stitching, but it's not technically necessary. All total, you can get cross-stitching for $20 or less when you go to the local craft store. I highly recommend using a coupon. It'll make your money go a little bit further, especially if you're going to Joann's or Michael's. Once you've picked out your pattern and gotten all of your supplies together, my next video is going to be about preparing your fabric and getting your hoop ready to start stitching.